I mean, it is what it is. Mother. So the baby's gonna be here literally any day now, which means I need to tend to new dad kind of stuff. So the guys are gonna keep ripping through Ray's shaker style doors and drawers coming up, as well as a little bit of finishing. And we're gonna go see some of our friends to help us out, keep that nice and fast. This should be a good one.
Welcome back, episode 2 of Building John's Kitchen. Today, we're making door and drawer fronts. Because we're stupid and forgot to order enough plywood for the doors and drawers, we're gonna use a bunch of these cutoffs, and there's one extra sheet in there.
Yeah, it'll be enough. Well, we potentially ordered just enough plywood.
We're dumb.
We're not dumb. John's dumb.
Typically, I would not cut these until after the drawers are glued up or ready to be glued, so we can prove they all fit. But if we have to order more plywood, I want to know that before I get to that step. So I hope this computer sheet's right. Oh, let's get into it. Okay kids, the panels are now cut. We ended up having enough, which is good because now we don't have to go to the store and I don't have to punch Jordan in the face.
I knew it was gonna be enough.
Jordan has already started on the rails and styles for the drawers and door faces. Door faces and
Drawers and drawers faces.
doors and drawers. Jordan's already started on some of that while I was finishing up the face frame assembly the other day. We've got a couple more pieces to put the grooves in, and then we've got a bunch of tenons to cut, and then we can start gluing things up. All right, Jordan, give me your wood. I don't do that. Jordan, I believe in you. You'll be fine. Or you'll die.
Test number 200. Okay. Not good.
Be a particular issue. It's nothing new.
How is this small?
The grooves aren't exactly a quarter. We're playing with like thousandths of an inch, and then once we got that, we're getting this weird little groove in there. So if Sam thinks the groove's out, let's break the groove.
All right, well, I'm gonna go sit in the office. Myself.
What's going on up here?
Doing your job, man.
Down there's very miserable.
It's only a $7,000 machine that makes this very easy.
$500 bit, I don't know.
Still working. After 147 tests, I think we just might be able to actually cut the tenons on these doors. Jordan's cutting like the last piece we need, and then it's gonna be a tenon party. You guys ever feel like you just spent 2 days doing something wrong? I feel like this happens a lot.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
We caught it before we did every one. It sucks, but
That explains a lot though. So why my doors are always wrong when I first made them.
so this isn't the first rodeo this week, no?
I thought I was bad at making doors.
I'm going.
I thought quarter inch was industry standard, so I never thought to check.
I mean, that's what I've always done, but I've also never used a computer program to do the whole math.
We learned something today.
Yeah, I learned that I worked with a bunch of idiots.
You're the idiot.
So, Jordan has done this a couple times and didn't figure out his mistake. We just cut, how many doors are on this thing? Like 30. And currently they're all wrong. Oh, luckily we caught it. We didn't finish all of them, so.
They're oversized, which I wanted. That's what I love.
So I texted the boss, because he's been on his phone all day playing TikTok or something.
We dove into Mosaic and realized that it's probably more a half-inch groove.
I go to put this together and I'm like, hey Jordan, why is this one wrong?
Wait, a half-inch deep groove?
Yeah, I didn't know what Mosaic did. We cut all the parts and I'm like, hey Jordan, why the f is this a half-inch wrong? And it's a half-inch long.
The door?
So I get to now cut every style and every panel down.
Every rail.
And I just have to cut a half-inch.
Just fix it.
It's the story of 3 idiots who don't know how to build things, attempting to not kill themselves while building things. We're getting these things all ready for.
Who's the third idiot?
It's you.
No.
You want to be the first idiot? You want to drive the ship? Okay, we decided that we should get these things prepped and taped off and ready for paint, so that way when the paint shop is ready, these things are good to go. We realized there's an issue. All of the cabinets that have an outward facing side part, I put screws on the outside of the cabinets because I forgot to check which ones were which. So, we're gonna fix it. I made a template thing with a hole in it so I can line it up over the hole, and then I take a Forstner bit which has a corresponding plug cutter in them. And so I had Jordan make some plugs. I'm drilling out the holes, just making them a little bit deeper, just enough to accept a plug. We'll put some glue on a plug, put them in there, sand it smooth, and then we're gonna Bondo over all of the plugs. So just don't tell anyone, okay?
Plug and chug.
I'm gonna get the glue spread around. Another plug, my boy.
All right, my good peoples. Sam and Jordan been out here meticulously working. Now I'm just gonna walk in and judge all of their work and start putting stuff together. So we will see if they fix all their issues they were having.
This shouldn't be this hard, but apparently it is. We started gluing these things together. I sort of rushed it last night when I was running these through the shaper after we had to recut them, and they all ended up a little bit too thick. Fortunately, there's 100 ways to do these different kinds of things. So I set up a dado stack with a sacrificial fence and a crosscut sled. We can just kind of skim off these tenons just a little bit, make this glue up go a lot easier, and hopefully get back on track. As the shirt says, punch today in the face. So we're gonna try that. We're not giving up yet.
Do you want a mallet?
Every tool is a hand, Jordan. It's Just the Tip with Sam and Jordan. This week we're talking about Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, forget it, too dangerous.
If you have a plywood inset panel, you don't want to glue the wood panel into the frame because the wood movement will cause the thing to explode and everyone will be sad. You don't want the panel rattling around, being all sad and terrible. So you put them in the grooves like so. It lets that wood move around the panel and it keeps it nice and tight. Just the tip, that one's free.
Right now, I'm just going through with a hand block, breaking the front edge. That way it's nice and soft, and if anything would bang into this, it's not gonna splinter and explode. That way, whenever they get to paint and finish, it's just gonna be a nice, clean slate, whatever you wanna call this thing. I just wanna go home and get these out of my life, and we are so far from that. John has yet to help down here, and me and Sam are building this entire kitchen, and I don't understand these things. And John comes down and yells, "Why aren't these great?" And you know what? It's your kitchen. You build it. Yeah, just make it look nice.
The only thing left to do is finish taping off all the cabinets. And then we can install the kitchen finally.
No.
Yeah, there's still so much
John
to
has
do.
to have a JD.
So the cabinets are ready for finish, and instead of being a bunch of schmucks like we know we are, we're gonna head over to my buddies, the Bonuras, who've got a professional cabinet shop, and learn how to actually do this the right way, and it should be a little bit quicker and better finish. So load them up! All right, so we just got the Bonura. We're gonna unload the trucks, but first, let me tell you real quick about this week's sponsor. I'm once again super pumped to be working with Bespoke Post to bring you this week's video. If you guys aren't familiar, Bespoke Post is a subscription service where you can pretty much get a lot of cool stuff based on your own personal interests for a discount. Some examples are this box. They got sweet options like this. They're forged subscription where you can get some awesome knives. This one's Damascus, and this thing is beefy. If you like to cook, they've got some kitchen options where you can get kitchen utensils. I actually have a couple of these knives, they're awesome. And then for all you indulgent SOBs, you can get something like this, which is a cocktail smoker, which I think makes your cocktails taste smoky. So like I said, Bespoke Post has a ton of variety of different hobbies and interests and things where you can sign up for a subscription and save a couple bucks. If you're interested in seeing more from Bespoke Post, I've got a link down below, and I'm super grateful that they are supporting all of the chaos that you see here. And speaking of, let's get back to this cabinet project.
Good day. Good day.
This is Billy, the son of the legend, Bill. I think the guy's been around for 55 years now. I've known Billy since the end of high school. We won't tell you that story and how we met. But they've been professionally doing cabinet work for a long time. They're gonna show us how to do this the right way so that it doesn't suck. So Bill's gonna give us a couple pointers and stuff, and we're gonna pick up some sweet B-roll. Let's get to it.
Primer first on everything. We like to use a tinted primer on everything.
Pro tip!
That way if you nick it, you got the tinted primer underneath it.
So this is just the primer, and this already looks better than literally every project Sam and I have ever finished. So we're off to a good start.
Let us spray.
Let us spray.
I like to pull the paint all the way down to me. Start at the top and just as it goes, go. So just get on the trigger and hammer.
The flicking of the wrist helps to keep from having more buildup on these sides.
I get the flow, right?
We got Bob with it.
Boom, boom, boom. Now flow out the frame. Yeah.
I noticed something that's gonna be hard for me to be a good finisher is you have to be tiny and mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps.
Sorry, buddy.
I'm fired! I don't normally come out just be mean, but this is one of those instances. You suck. All right, so we're filling all the imperfections that pop through the primer for finish coat. It's always easier to see where things are gonna pop up after primer.
So we'll just scuff this stuff down. Let's just try to like lightly stay on that.
Six. It looks so good. Oh my God. Everything's sanded. For all yins that wonder why high-end custom kitchens and finish work cost so much, it's because we just had 6 dudes getting all this stuff prepped for finish. Billy's got us ready to rock with the finish coat. He's gonna let me do a few. Hopefully I don't screw this up. Let us spray! Well, you know, I got a little kink in the shoulder, and I was bringing her down, and it just didn't want to move anymore. I had to jolt her through. You can't tell on film.
I can see the run coming down the side.
Say Jordan did that. When you sign your work, John, sign it good.
Whoa. I mean, it is what it is. Mother. Well, we ordered the drawer boxes because they're better done and they're faster typically, and they just pushed them back 2 weeks. I can't literally just not have the kitchen done for 2 weeks. This sucks. I guess we're capping the video here? I don't. Unfortunately, my wife's literally at the doctor right now. I don't think we're gonna be able to get this done before the baby arrives. If you wanna see how the rest of this pans out, you're gonna have to subscribe because I have nothing for you to follow up with. Check out the last videos before, and we'll see you next week. Maybe.